Welcome to Echoes Untold, where history whispers and we listen.
Every wreck, every sunken vessel, every lost soul beneath the waves has a story to tell, a whisper from the past, waiting to be heard. Today, we uncover the tragic tale of USS O-9, a forgotten World War I-era submarine that met its doom in 1941, just months before the United States entered World War II. This is a story of ambition, oversight, and sacrifice. It is a haunting reminder of the risks submariners take and the high cost of technological miscalculations. Join us as we dive into the depths of history and resurface the lost tale of USS O-9. The USS O-9, SS-70, was part of the O-class submarines, a series of boats built during World War I when the US Navy was expanding its undersea warfare capabilities. Launched in 1918 and commissioned the same year, O-9 was designed primarily for coastal defense. Unlike the massive submarines of World War II that could patrol entire oceans, the O-class was relatively small, just 172 feet long, with a displacement of 521 tons when surfaced. At the time of its construction, O-9 was considered advanced, featuring diesel engines for surface travel and electric motors for underwater operations. However, by the early 1930s, the Navy had moved on to newer, more reliable submarine designs. In 1931, USS O-9 was decommissioned and placed in reserve. For nearly a decade, the submarine sat in storage, its hull and systems aging. But then came the storm clouds of World War II. By 1939, war had erupted in Europe. Nazi Germany's U-boats were wreaking havoc in the Atlantic, sinking merchant ships and threatening naval forces. The United States, though not yet directly involved in the war, saw the urgent need to bolster its submarine fleet. The US Navy decided to bring several retired O-class submarines out of mothballs, not for combat, but for training new submariners. USS O-9, along with O-8 and O-10, was hastily recommissioned in 1940. But there was a problem: these submarines were already outdated and in poor condition. Years of inactivity had taken a toll on their structure, and they weren't built to withstand the deeper diving depths expected of modern submarines. Still, the need for training was pressing. These boats were meant to serve a temporary purpose, giving new submariners hands-on experience before they moved on to more advanced vessels. The risks were acknowledged, but the urgency of war outweighed the concerns. On the morning of June 20, 1941, USS O-9 and its sister submarines set out from the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard off the coast of New Hampshire. Their mission? A series of test dives to assess their operational depth limits. At approximately 8:30 a.m., O-9 prepared for its deep dive. It was meant to descend to about 300 feet, a risky but not unheard of depth for older submarines. The boat carried 33 men, including experienced officers and enlisted crew. The crew sealed the hatches. The ballast tanks filled with water. O-9 slipped beneath the waves and never resurfaced. When O-9 failed to return, alarm bells rang across the fleet. Rescue efforts began almost immediately. Naval vessels scoured the area, searching for any sign of the submarine. A frantic effort to locate and save the crew was underway. By the afternoon of June 20, rescue ships arrived at the last known location of USS O-9. Sonar scans eventually pinpointed the wreck, resting at a depth of 407 feet. Sonar scans eventually pinpointed the wreck, resting at a depth of 407 feet. This was devastating news. At that depth, no available rescue equipment could safely reach the submarine in time. The Navy had only recently begun experimenting with deep-sea rescue technology, and the equipment that existed could not operate at such extreme depths. Divers bravely attempted to descend, but the pressure was immense, and visibility was nearly zero. The depth was far beyond what was considered survivable for a submarine of that age. With each passing hour, the grim reality set in: the 33 men aboard O-9 were lost. After several days of searching, the U.S. Navy officially declared the crew deceased on June 22, 1941. What went wrong? How did O-9 meet its fate? Naval investigators determined that the submarine's hull simply could not withstand the pressure of deep diving. Years of inactivity had weakened the boat's structure, and pushing it beyond its limits proved catastrophic. Unlike newer submarines, which were built with reinforced hulls, O-9 had been designed in a different era, one where deep dives were not a priority. The failure of USS O-9 led to critical lessons in submarine engineering. It reinforced the importance of hull integrity, pressure testing, and the dangers of pushing old vessels beyond their limits. The loss of O-9 ultimately contributed to improvements in submarine safety protocols, ensuring that future submarines were better equipped for deep-sea operations. Today, USS O-9 remains at the bottom of the Atlantic, resting silently in the darkness, a tomb for the 33 sailors who perished that day. A memorial plaque now stands at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, honoring the crew of USS O-9. Though their mission was meant for training, their sacrifice was no less significant. They gave their lives in service to their country, and their memory endures in the annals of naval history. The story of USS O-9 is not just about a single submarine, it is about the risks, the bravery, and the unyielding spirit of those who dare to serve beneath the sea. It is a tale of human endurance and the thin line between safety and disaster. The ocean holds many secrets, and the whispers of history are often drowned beneath the waves. But here, on Echoes Untold, we listen. If you found this story compelling, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Echoes Untold. Your support helps us uncover history's hidden echoes and keep the memories of the past alive. Because where history whispers, we listen. Fact-checked note. The sinking of USS O-9 was extensively documented by the U.S. Navy. Official reports confirm that the wreck remains at a depth of approximately 407 feet. Sources include Naval History and Heritage Command, The Loss of USS O-9, retrieved from www.history.navy.mil, US. Submarine Losses in World War II, U.S. Navy Report, 1946.